Welcome, this is yoga. We're gonna start with one of our legs out, the other leg bent in. And then just start moving your body, looking toward the bent knee and the long leg. Inhale toward the bent knee, exhale toward the long leg and reach toward it. Good. Stretching out through that leg, inhaling through the body. All right, now next time that we're at this long leg, stay here, shuffle around your hip bones so that they're nice and grounded on the floor. Place your hand on your bent knee and then your other hand on that long leg. I don't think I said right or left, so just whatever side you're doing. And same arm to leg, pressing the bent knee down as you hug in toward the long leg. Breathe here. The exhale sinks you low. The inhale lengthens through your spine. Good, 3 more deep breaths. And on your exhalation, gently wind back toward the bent knee, lift up your hips, and we're just gonna stretch out all the way through the side body. Point your toes, point your fingers, deep stretch. Try to wiggle your fingers, lengthen your neck, 3 more deep breaths. And on your exhalation, slowly come out and we'll come to our other side. You need to move onto your mat a little bit, stretching out your other leg. Wiggle through your seat bones so you're nice and grounded. Bring that bent leg up as high as comfortably possible. Start placing your hand on the bent knee and then point your body toward the long leg. Exhaling down, inhale, come up, twist a little bit. Inhale, twist toward that bent knee up. Exhale, come down. This really just helps get breath all the way through your breath body. We have lungs on the front, side, and even in the back of our chest. So we want to try to fill all of that lung space while we're doing yoga. And also release some of the old air that's been in there. Get that movement through the lungs, through the muscles. So just about 3 more of these, then we'll stay hugging in. You might start noticing that you're a little bit more tense on one side than the other. And that's okay. But you might need to give a little bit extra tension if you're more tense on one side than the other. Next time that you're into that long leg, just stay there. Maybe even shuffle your hips around a little bit more. Place your hand on the bent knee and just breathe here. Each exhalation can sink you lower. Use your hand on the bent knee to help press into your long leg. Three more deep breaths and we'll come into that side type of position, the side asana. Good, and on your next exhalation, gently release, bring your hips up, place your knee onto the ground. It's a little bit of a side plank, put a little bit more of a stretch into it. Point even your toes and your fingers. Reach, 3 more deep breaths. Good, on the exhalation, we're gonna just find a plank line. Come into a plank. We're just gonna go ahead and get our 2-minute plank out of the way. We're doing it, if you were at the last class, you're getting 4 minutes of planking. But since this is yoga, we'll do a little bit more of a stretch with it. Try to shift your weight forward and back as you're in this plank line. When you come back, really press into your heels. Like you're stretching out through your Achilles heels when you shift backwards. Good, keep breathing through it. If you need to take a little bit of a break and come onto your knees, we're halfway. It's 1 minute. If you can, stay with it. We have 1 more minute to go. Good, keep breathing. If you need to, you can bend one knee and kind of put the weight a little bit more on one side than the other, almost like you're walking your dog. 30 seconds, almost there. Good. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and put the knees down into a cat-cow, round and arc. Feel into your breath, whatever feels comfortable, or if you can consciously think about it, try to breathe into the belly and exhale into the back. Make sure you make movements not just forward and back, but also side to side. Good, just about 3 more deep breaths. And the next time that you come into your rounded spine, slowly bring yourself up onto your knees. Place your hands behind you. Interlace your fingers. And remember which one of your pinkies is on the bottom. And we're just gonna lean back, stretch your arms. If you need to take a few, bend and lengthens. Stretch your arms out and just lean back as far as you can and look up. 5 deep breaths. And on your exhalation, slowly place your hands under your shoulders, curl your toes to get into a downward facing dog. And walk your dog out, or just hold your dog, whatever feels better for you. Tuck that chin into your chest. Breathe. Open up through the shoulders. 5 more deep breaths here. And then slowly lower those knees back down. Bring yourself back up. Remember which pinky was on the bottom before? Now your other pinky comes to the bottom. Interlace those fingers behind you. Take a few bend and lengthens through the arms until you're ready to keep the arms straight. Shoulders back, and then just lean back into this. Gaze upward. Breathe. 5 deep breaths. Far back as you can go. And on the exhalation, slowly release, hands back under the shoulders, curl those toes, and we're back into our down dog. 5 deep breaths. Opening up through the shoulders, straightening the back. Just breathing, moving through it. Good. And on your exhalation, bend the knees like you're about to touch the ground, and then back into your down dog. Exhale, knees down. Inhale back. Good. Keep moving with the breath. Exhaling down. Inhaling back. 5 more. Then we're going to turn it into a little bit of a hop, a donkey hop. All right, now we're going to see if we can hop into this. Just little hops with your back foot. Hop it and then press into down dog. Hop, down dog. Hop, down dog. Try to be light on your feet. I can already hear myself thumping. See if you can try as hard as you can to hop without making a thumping noise. That's gonna mean you have more control. And yes, I am saying this to myself. My dogs are like, what are you doing? Good, 5 more. Good, and one more time. And then start bringing your feet up as high as you can towards your hands. Start walking your feet out so that your heels can put on the floor. You put your heels on the floor and your arms are just on the inside. So let me show you the different angle. You're nice and wide here. If you needed to, you could put a block under you and just little shifts side to side. I really want you to try to put your heels onto the ground. So if you need to, you can reposition your feet so that those feet are onto the ground. All right, we're preparing for our crow pose. Right now we're just shifting through the hips. Those arms are helping open up through the inner thighs. Good, just about 2 more each way. And come back to center. Both hands onto the ground. Make sure you're on a flat surface. And then see if you can just shift your weight onto your hands and start lifting your feet off the ground. Good, 3 more deep breaths. And the exhalation slowly lowers your feet back down. Lift your hips all the way up. Keep your hands onto the ground. Widen your feet so that your hands can comfortably stay onto the ground. And then go back into the side-to-side shift. If you needed to, you could put a block here under your hands. But if you can do it without the block and just opening up through the legs, it's a little bit deeper into that stretch. Through the inner thighs, through the hips, just shift side to side. Drawing that belly in. Keep breathing through it. 3 more deep breaths, and we're just gonna stay and hold it. Good, now come to center. Take those arms back behind you. Whatever pinky's on the bottom, remember the pinky, interlace your fingers. Tuck that chin into your chest. Start straightening up your arms and shift your body over to one leg and the other leg. Gently swing side to side. If you have any kind of heart issues where your head shouldn't be lower than your heart, then you could just come up slightly. But if it feels okay, dip nice and low and shift side to side. Three more deep breaths. All right, now whatever pinky's on the bottom, stay to that side. So if your right pinky's on the bottom, stay to your right side, and then just hug in to the leg, letting your arms release. Hug into that leg. Breathe into it. Draw the belly inward. Fold into your leg. Just make sure your knee is pointed in the same direction as your toe. And then lift up your foot so that you can position your foot pointed forward. Bend into the knee and lengthen back. Bend in, lengthen back. Good, bend it in, lengthen back. Your hands are just on the ground, helping to support you. Exhaling in, inhaling back. That back leg is at a little bit of an angle with a nice soft knee. Good, in and back, 3 more times. One more. Good, and the next time that your leg is straight, stay here with the leg straight, looking to the straight leg, and then shift your hip out to the side and then the center. Out to the side and center. So I want the hip moving, but the leg is straight. Hip goes out and in. Your leg is just straight here. Really focusing on through the hip. Out and in, good. 3 more times. Deep stretch, should be feeling that through the hip. Good, last one. Now we're gonna bend back into the knee. You need to readjust your stance so you're a little bit more forward. We're gonna come into a warrior one pose. Inhale, reach your arms up. Touch your palms together. Interlace your bottom 3 fingers. Let your pointer finger point up and your thumb point out. Just come into that warrior one pose. Adjust your hips so that that back hip, or sorry, your whatever side that you're on, that hip shifts back in line with your front hip. So both hips will be pointing forward. Breathe here. 3 more deep breaths. We're gonna come in balance after this. On the exhalation, put all the weight onto your front foot. If you need to adjust a little bit, go ahead. And start bringing your back foot up. Balance here. Flex that foot behind you. Three more deep breaths. Stretch it. On the exhalation, set that foot down behind you. Come back into that warrior one type of pose. Release your arms all the way down to the ground. Walk back to center, straighten up through the legs. And we're gonna go back into that shifting side to side. Shift side to side motion. Bend one knee and the other knee. Press all of your weight back into this. Good, keep breathing through it. All right, now we're gonna take those arms back behind us. So come to a neutral center position. Remember which pinky was on the bottom before. Take those arms behind you, interlace the fingers, the opposite pinkies on the bottom. Stretch your arms nice and long, and then just go into the side to side shifts. Go one side and the other side. Again, you should be noticing now how you feel a little bit more stretched out than what on one side than the other. Good, 3 more deep breaths, and we're gonna stay to the side that the pinky's on the bottom. All right, now stay to the side of whatever side the pinky's on the bottom, and release your arms. Just stay there and breathe into your leg. Let those arms help you. Good, 3 more deep breaths, and we're gonna point the foot forward. All right, now lift up your toes, pivot on the heel of your foot, and then point that foot forward. Stay here. This back knee has a soft bend into it. Readjust a little bit if you need to, and then start shifting your hips side to side. Get some motion through those hips. The hips are our sacral chakra. It's the element of water. So I want you to think about your hips like water, like an ocean. Nice and fluid. Good, keep breathing through this. 5 more deep breaths. All right, now we're going to go into the bend and lengthen. Bend and lengthen. Adjust your back leg. If it's a little bit awkward, you can reset it so that it feels like a nice distance. Just bend and lengthen. Good, 3 more deep breaths here. All right, now we're gonna start finding that warrior one pose. Start bringing your arms up. Palms touch, interlace the bottom 3 fingers. Adjust your stance so that you can comfortably point your hips forward. Tuck in that tailbone, shift your hips back. Especially that whatever leg is in front, that hip should go back to be in line with your other side. So both hips are pointing forward. And yeah, sometimes it helps to just kind of manually adjust. Breathe here, 3 more deep breaths, and we're coming into our warrior 3 pose with the balance. On your exhalation, start putting all of the weight onto your front foot, shifting your arms forward, flex your back foot, balance and breathe, 5 breaths. And on your exhalation, step that back foot. So you're coming back into your warrior 3. Start lowering your arms down. Point both feet forward and go back into your side-to-side shift through the knees, through the hips. We're gonna take 1 more crow pose. We're just prepping, shifting into those hips. All right, and make your hands on a flat surface. Bend your knees, start placing your legs onto your arms, and when you're ready, see if you can shift your weight. So all of your weight comes onto your arms in that crow pose. 1 foot up, and then your other foot up. Three more deep breaths. Good. On the exhalation, gently release. Let your hips come all the way down to the floor. Spread the legs out in a wide straddle position. Wiggle your knees. Reset through the hip bones. Lift up. And we're going to reach our right arm toward our left leg and our left arm toward our right foot. Place your hand down onto the ground. Stay here. Inhale, look up. Exhale, look down. If you need to, you can hold on to your foot with a strap or a ring. We're going to move with that breath a little bit. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. See if you can hold on to the pinky toe side of your foot. Try not to let your hip bones lift off the ground. Every time that you breathe, see if you can get even deeper into this. 3 more deep breaths, and then we're just gonna stay looking up and breathe. Good, now just try to stay looking up toward the ceiling. Press your hand to the ground to help you. Plug your hip bones onto the ground. 3 more deep breaths, just stay here and breathe. And on your exhalation, gently release, unwind yourself, tiptoe yourself up, nice and safely. And now we're gonna reach the left arm to the right side, right arm to the left leg. Use that strap to help you if you need to. Move with the breath, inhale up, exhale down. Try to plug those hip bones onto the ground. Get nice and comfortable. Each breath helps you get deeper. 3 more. Good, now just stay up there. Look up, press your hand into the ground, plug those seat bones on the ground. Breathe here, 5 more deep breaths. Good, and on the exhalation, gently release, tiptoe yourself up. We're gonna take both arms all the way up. We're gonna do a little bit more motion into this. So reach one arm toward the opposite leg, try to touch that foot, bring the arms back up, and then other side. This is a little bit more of motion into pretty much what we were just doing. Moving with that breath. Place your hand onto the ground to help press you even deeper. Try to have big breath movements here. Inhaling up, exhaling to the side. Good. Three more each way. Feels really good. Through the breath. Good, and finish up making sure that you are the same on both sides. Place your hands behind your head, and then just look all the way up to the ceiling, open up through the shoulders. Breathe here, stretch through the arms. Plug those seat bones onto the ground. 3 more deep breaths. Good, now we're gonna keep our right hand up behind our head up, and our left arm, we're gonna twist it behind us so that we can interlace our fingers. If that's hard for you to get your fingers, then grab a strap or a sock or something like that. And now we're just gonna start shifting down to the side, your right side, whatever arm's on top, shift to that side. Holy. Feel that stretch. Breathe. 3 more deep breaths. Oh, wow, okay. Slowly bring it up. That was a deep stretch. Hopefully you guys are feeling that. Release very slowly, slowly. All right, let's just take a few arm circles before we do the other side. Stretch out even through the fingers. Good. 2 more this direction, then we'll just switch our direction, and then we'll do that other side binding. And when you're ready, just go your other direction with those arm circles. Breathing in through the chest, all the way through. All right, now we have to do our other side. This is my less dominant side, my more tense side. So I don't know how you guys are, but it might be a little bit harder on this side. You might need to grab a strap on this side if it's more tense. Try to catch those fingers. When you get there, just stay a few breaths. Then we're going to lean to the side. All right, when you're ready, go to the side of the arm that's on top. It's a lot harder for me on this side. The other side was hard. It's even harder. Three more deep breaths. And slowly bring it up, very slowly release. Oh, shake it out. Circle it out. Good, just a few more this direction. And then when you're ready, switch your direction. Big circles, get all the way through it. Good, and now we're just going to reach our arms all the way forward, as far forward as you can, and then press back. Once you come as far as you can, press back. Those hands are helping you, so your seat bones are grounding into the ground. Breathe into it, 5 deep breaths. Let each exhalation get you even lower. And slowly walk it up. Bring the soles of your feet together. Soles of your feet together. Interlace your fingers around your toes and wiggle so you come up as close as you can towards your heels. Good, and then just start butterflying through the legs. Release the shoulders, move your head. Breathe through this. Good, just about 3 more deep breaths, and then we're gonna hold on to our feet and balance. Good, and when you're ready, hold on to those feet. You could grab your big toe or just hold on to the feet, balance, like you're doing, almost like you're doing a happy baby, but on your tailbone, balancing. Good, 3 more deep breaths, and then we're gonna actually go into the happy baby. Good, and when you're ready, just roll back onto your happy baby. Make sure that you have some space behind you if you need to readjust a little bit. Roll back and come into that happy baby. Your legs could be straight or your knees could be bent, up to you, whatever feels good. Three more deep breaths here. Good. On the exhalation, cross your left ankle over your right knee. So coming into a figure 4 type stretch, keep the foot flexed. You can even hold onto the foot to help you. And then your other, so if you have your hand on your foot and the other hand onto the knee, and then just start opening and closing through the knee with your hands on your joints. Mostly keep the foot flexed is the main thing that helps just protect the ligaments all the way through the joints. Good. And now keep that knee open. You could gently press here if that feels okay for you. Hug it in, breathe. And start holding on to your leg if you can, if that's available for you, just taking your hands behind your leg, and you could rotate the ankle that's not crossed over. Good. And if you are rotating the ankle, make sure you go both directions. Good. And then totally cross this leg over all the way. See if you can hold on to your ankles with your opposite hand to ankle. Keep both feet flexed now. And then we're just going to hug it in, little motions, little corkscrew type motions. Trying to release any resistance, breathing through it. Three more deep breaths, and then we're just going to take a gentle twist. Now that leg that's on the top, whatever leg's on the top, point it to the opposite direction. So if it's the left leg on top, point it to the right. Take your time, make sure your spine is long, stretch your arms out, and look the opposite way that your legs are. Just gently breathe into this. If you need to, you could put a pillow or a block under your legs. Just try to keep grounding those shoulders on the ground. Remember to drink water after yoga. And like feel my internal organs stretching right now. But that's good. We're gonna flush them out after this by drinking some water. Good, one more deep breath. And on the exhalation, slowly let your spine come back to neutral. Bring those legs up and switch your legs. So if you're with me, it's right ankle over your left leg. Hold on to your joints and then just start opening and closing through the knee, making sure your foot stays flexed. Breathing into it. Good, now we're gonna take that full on figure four stretch, hugging into that floating leg, using your arm to open up through the knee with that option to circle your ankle. Good. Deep breaths here. And whenever you're ready, reverse the direction of the ankle circle. I say ankle circle, but you should also be feeling it like all the way into your toes. If you're circling there. Good, and then we're gonna take our cross leg position, holding on to both ankles and reposition your spine so your spine is long, and then just hug it in, take those little corkscrew type motions, little twists, mostly with the low back and the hips. As you feel into any resistance, you can stay and breathe into whatever might be talking to you. Good, 3 more deep breaths. Breathe into the resistance, hold it. And now we're gonna fully release and take our legs to the side that the leg is on, to the opposite side to the leg on top. So if it's right leg on top, take it to the left side, reposition your spine so it's nice and long, open up the shoulders and look the opposite direction the legs are. Three more deep breaths. Good, and now slowly bring the spine back to neutral. Letting the legs come back up. Uncross your legs, and we're just gonna lengthen the legs out into our Savasana position. Let the arms come a little bit closer to your side with the palms facing up. Reset, make any little adjustments so your spine is long. Your hips and your shoulders are grounded. And just relax into the ground, into the earth. Feeling the gravity of the earth. And begin making small little movements, wiggling fingers, toes, moving your head, blinking your eyes. And stretch your arms all the way up above your head. Make yourself nice and long, nice and big. Deep breath in. On the exhalation, bring the knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Gently rocking side to side, massaging through the spine. And then place your hands behind your legs and rock yourself into a comfortable seated position. Moving the head, lengthening through the spine. When you're ready, inhale, reach the arms all the way up. The palms touch the top. Exhale, bring it down into your heart center, thumbs to your heart. Namaste.